I want to share with you a story that you may have heard about a BBC Middle East correspondent who died and came to the next world. And when he arrived through the pearly gates, he was greeted by a long hallway, and adorning the walls of the hall from floor to ceiling, as far as the eye could see, were rows and rows and rows of clocks. So he turns to a nearby angel and he says to him, "Sir, you know, it's my first time here, and I had no idea that this is what heaven is like. It's incredible. But please, you must explain to me, what is the significance of all of these clocks?" So he says, well, it's very simple. Each clock represents a person, and the minute hand on the clock represents the amount of lies that the person has told in their life. So he says, look right here, this is George Washington's clock. You see the minute hand has only moved once. That's because he only ever told one lie in his life. And this here, he says, Abe Lincoln's clock. You see the minute hand has only moved twice because he only ever told two lies in his life. So, says the BBC Middle East correspondent, this is fascinating. I have no idea that this is how heaven worked, but please, you must tell me, where do I find my clock? So he says, well, your clock is in the next room. We're using it as a fan. Now, obviously, I'm speaking in jest, but this is a story that captures within it much of what so many people find profoundly frustrating about some quarters of the media today. Yes, there is bias, there is misinformation, and there is what our friend Marty Peretz and former honoree described as a concerted campaign to besmirch the Hebrew nation. But alongside that, there is also often a certain monotony, a tired rehashing of well-worn, long-established narratives, and an unwillingness to look at matters with a fresh set of eyes, to reevaluate every day what is important today. And this implies, in particular, to reporting on Israel and matters of Jewish concern. At the Algemeiner, we have sought to firmly plant ourselves headstrong against this rushing tide and bring new perspectives to the table, to seek out the maligned, the overlooked, the unfairly targeted, the misunderstood, and to give them a voice. We were told that college students in the United States couldn't possibly be finding themselves isolated on campus simply because of their association with Israel. So we opened a campus bureau that has now published more than 650 articles capturing the full picture of their plight and challenges. And for that, I want to salute Rachel Frommer, where are you, who has led this effort. And your colleague, Andy Pessin. When it was claimed that the Jewish state had nothing to offer the world save bloodshed and war, we wrote about the new medicines, farming techniques, and water preservation technologies that have now become the hallmark of Israeli culture. When Israeli pilots were accused falsely of deliberately targeting civilians in Gaza, we told the story of the IAF pilot who aborted a strike on a terror target 17 times in a row just to prevent civilian casualties. When so many in the French press wanted to write off the murder in April of Jewish pensioner Sarah Halimi as the work of a madman, we reminded the world over and over and over again of the ample evidence that this was an anti-Semitic crime of the most heinous nature. And for that, my hat goes off to our senior correspondent, Ben Cohen, who has single-handedly led this effort. Ben, please stand. Thank you. In short, in the words of Robert Frost, we have sought to take the journalistic road less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Tonight, I am honored to be in the company of so many fellow travelers, and first among them are our honorees, Eli Lake and Barry Weiss. I believe this concept has really been the spirit that has marked your illustrious careers. To my colleagues at the Algemeiner, to Barney, our managing editor. Barney, I know you're here somewhere. Please rise. To Ben, to Rachel, to Ira. Do I see Ira somewhere? I know you're here. To Shirin, to Andrew, to David. Shirin, also please say hi and congratulations on your upcoming wedding. It is my honor to stand alongside all of you every single day in the work that we do. And of course, to each of you here tonight, we know that while it is often said that we are what we eat, the truth is that we are what we read. And your presence here tonight is testament of how important that concept is to each of you. We are grateful for your commitment to strengthening our voice, and we in turn are committed to strengthening your voice. Together, I feel, we can be certain beyond a shadow of a doubt that we will be heard. Thank you.